this video we will be studying about the continuous distributions. There are many continuous distributions. We will be studying only few which are having problems to solve and which may appear in the final exams. So one thing we have to keep in mind that whenever they are saying the probability density function. So if they are saying the density function, probability density function, then it is discrete. Okay, then it is discrete distribution. Suppose they are saying probability mass function, they are saying probability mass function, then it is continuous. So here they are going to take as a summation value, here they are going to take as integration for continuous. So if it is probability density function, that is given by summation and it is discrete. So they may say you find the probability density function, then this f of x is said to be a probability density function. If they are saying find the mass function, that is f of x, it may be a continuous distribution. Okay, next. So in this continuous distribution, so first we will be studying about the normal distribution. So in the normal distribution, the probability mass function here f of x, I am calling f of x as a mass function because it is a continuous distribution. So probability mass function is given by 1 divided by b minus a, where x lies between a and b. X is a continuous random variable, a and b are its limits. Okay, then f of x, this f of x in both discrete and in mass continuous, f of x is indicating the CDF, that is cumulative distribution function. When are we going to use this small f of x and when are we going to use this capital F of x? Small f of x is used to find only one probability. For example, probability of 0. This is only one value. When we are going to use this CDF, that is capital F of x. CDF means cumulative distribution function. Cumulative means when you are going to add the subsequent. So for example, x is less than or equal to 2. Means what? You have to add the probability. Less than or equal to 2 means probability. What numbers comes here? Less than or equal to 2? 0, 1 and 2. So you are going to add probability of 0 plus probability of 1 plus probability of 2. In such cases, when you are going to find the summation of cumulative values you are going to add, that time you are going to use the capital F of x. If you are going to find only one value, then you are using this small f of x, that is a mass function. If you are going to add the cumulative values, then you are going to use like this. If you are going to add the cumulative values, then you are going to use this capital F of x. So when value of x, that is x random variable, is less than a, the value of this capital F of x is straight away 0, and when the value of x lies between a and b limits, we are going to have the x minus a divided by b minus a. Otherwise, if x is greater than or equal to b, then we are having the value 1. So these three, normally this formula only will be used here. So and this is the actual formula for uniform distribution. There is one more shortcut here used. If the random variable, that is continuous variable, lies between x1 and x2. Okay, see, a and b are constant limits here. x1 and x2 are again variables only. If the value of this variable lies between x1 and x2, it can be given by f of x2 minus f of x1. F of x2 minus f of x1. So this can be given by x2 minus x1 divided by b minus a. So this also we will be using in our problem. Then it's a mean. E means mean. E of x means mean of a continuous random variable x is given by a plus b by 2 and its variance is given by b minus a square by 12. These two, if they are asked, then only you are going to solve. Normally they will not ask the mean and variance. They will be concentrating on this these two functions here. So let us see the example on this uniform distribution. We are having a very interesting problem here. which depends on the uniform distribution. They are saying that a bus is arriving at specified stop beginning at 6:40 am. So it is coming at 6:40 am in the morning, and after every 20 minutes each bus, the bus is arriving with a gap of 20 minutes and starting from 6:40 am up to 8:40 am. So for 2 hours there is the transport facility given from 6:40 am to 8:40 am with a gap of 20 minutes. Means first bus is arriving at 6:40. Next, after 20 minutes means 7 o'clock. After 20 minutes, 7:20. Then 7:40, 8 o'clock, 8:20, 8:40. Like this from 6:40 to 8:40 the bus is arriving with the 20 minutes gap. Then a passenger does not know this timing, and that passenger randomly he is arriving between 7 to 7:30 am. So what they are telling you to find out here, they are telling you to find that if a passenger is arriving between this time 7 to 7:30, find the probability that he is waiting for more than 5 minutes, 5 or more than 5 minutes. Find the probability that he is waiting for 5 minutes or more than the 5 minutes. So let us calculate. So this is the solution. Okay, so how we are calculating here? See, if the person is coming exactly, see, from 7 to 7:30 he is coming at any time. Let us consider he is coming at 7 o'clock. When is the bus? When he is coming at 7 o'clock, he is going to get the bus after 20 minutes. Is it not? 7:20. So he has to wait for 20 minutes. Suppose he is coming at 7:05. So 7:05 means when is the next bus? 7. After 7, it is next 7:20. So he is waiting for 15 minutes. If he comes for 7:10, he has to wait for 10 minutes up to the until the next bus. If he comes for 7:15, he has to wait for 5 minutes. So if he is coming between 7 to 7:15, then he has to wait for 5 or more than 5 minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20. Understanding? If the person is coming between 7 and 7:15, if the person is coming between 7 is taken as 7 o'clock means 0 it is taken. So if he is coming between 7 to 7:15, he is waiting for 5 or more minutes. Okay, suppose he is coming at 7:20. At 7:20 he will get the bus, but at 7:20 exactly if he comes, when is the next bus? After 7:20 it is 7:40. Again he is going to wait at 20 minutes, including the 7 o'clock and 7:20 we are going to calculate. See, 7 o'clock you may say that bus is there, 7:20 also bus is there, but including these two timings we will be calculating. Suppose if he is coming for 7:20, when is the next bus? 7:40. So he has to wait for 20 minutes. If he is coming for 7:25, he has to wait for 15 minutes. If he is coming for 7:30, he has to wait for 10 minutes. So if he is arriving between 20 and 30, then also he has to wait for 5 or more than 5 minutes. If he is arriving exactly at 7:20 and 7 am, no waiting. But we are saying between 7:20 and 7:30. Or between 7 o'clock and 7:15. It is between, not at 7 o'clock. Okay, so between these two timings he is waiting. So what here? Probability of this x is exactly timing here. X is taken as the time at which that passenger is arriving. Suppose he is coming between 0 to 15. So P of probability of 0 to 15. If the variable lies x between 0 to 15 and if the variable lies between 20 to 30, means we are going to add this one. He is waiting. He has to wait for 5 or more than 5 minutes. So now, so this P of 0 and P of x, what formula we have seen here? So if x lies between x1 and x2, what it is? F of x2 minus f of x1. So that's what here f of x2 means f of 15 minus f of x1, f of 0. This plus here this also f of x2. X2 means f of 30 minus f of x1, that is p f of 20, x here is 20. So what is the value of f of x? F of x is given by x minus a divided by b minus a. That is what we have seen here. F of x is given by x minus a divided by b. When x lies between a and b, here we are having limits, no, there, x minus a divided by b minus a. See, totally we are taking from 7 to 7:30. So total the range of a and b here is 7 to 7:30. 7 o'clock is taken as 0 here. So 7 to 7:30 we are taking. So totally from 7 to 7:30, this is the formula. F of x, that is, let us apply this one, x minus a. X here is 15 minus a is 0. Here a and b, see, a here is 0 and b here is considered as 30. So x minus a, 15 minus 0 divided by b minus a. What is b? 30. A 0. 30 minus 0. Minus f of 0. Here x is 0. 0 minus a 0 divided by b minus a. 30 minus 0. See, b minus a, b minus a. Okay. This plus f of 30. F of 30 means x is 30 here. 30 minus a divided by b minus a. This minus x is 20 here. 20 minus a is 0 divided by b minus a. Next 15 by 30 as it is, minus 0 by something is 0, plus 30 by 30 is 1, minus 20 by 3. 20 by 30. Okay, so this is 5 by 6. So this is the total probability. If you keep this one, it is fine. So otherwise you can convert this into decimals also. Okay. So this is the probability that the passenger has to wait for more than 5 minutes if he is arriving between 7 to 7:30. So here they will be mentioning, if they are asking this question, they will be mentioning that the timing specified is following the uniform distribution. Then you have to apply this formula. Next we will be studying about the exponential distribution. Exponential distribution f of x. What is this f of x? In terms of continuous. Exponential distribution is continuous distribution. In continuous distribution, small f of x is denoted by what? Probability mass function. It is probability mass function. If this f of x was in discrete, then it will be probability density function. So f of x of exponential distribution is given by lambda of e raised to minus lambda x. What is this lambda? Lambda is telling you the rate. Simply it will be telling you the rate. That rate may be something arrival rate. Okay. It may be some service rate, or it may be some failure rate. It is just telling you the rate of something. Lambda is the rate of arrival, rate of service, rate of failure. It may be anything. So probability mass function f of x of exponential distribution is given by lambda into e raised to minus lambda x when the value of x is greater than or equal to 0. Otherwise the value is taken as 0 here. Then what is this? Capital F of x. This capital F of x is nothing but again CDF, that is a cumulative distribution function. It is given by 1 minus e raised to minus lambda x. This we are going to use in our problems. These two we are going to use, capital F of x and small f of x. Let us see a problem here. So now what they are saying here is life of a lamp is expressed in thousands of hours. Okay. Then life of lamp is exponentially distributed. Here they are saying which formula you have to use. They are telling you directly that we are using here exponential distribution, where failure rate is 1 by 3. Now rate means what? I told you rate means it is the value lambda. So 1 by 3. What? Lambda is equal to 1 by 3. What does this 1 by 3 mean? It means that there is one failure for every 3 units. Okay, since here it is expressed in thousands of hours, so I can say that there is one failure for every 300 years. there is one failure for every 3000 years. Why 3000? Because if 3 means it is thousands, 3000s of years. Then mean life, what is the mean life? There is one failure for every 3000 years, means 3000 is taken as mean, is it not? So 3000 is the mean life. What they are saying, find the probability that it will last more than its mean life. More than mean means more than 3000. 3000, more than 3000 means what? From 3001 up to infinity. Can we find that probability? No. For that what we have to do? Find, see here it is 3000, I am taking 3 here to minimize our calculations. So find the probability of 3. 3 means what? 3, 4, 5, 6 up to infinity. We cannot do that. So what we are going to do? See 3, 4 up to infinity. What numbers have been left out here? 0, 1, 2. So I can find this probability and do 1 minus this one. Is it not? So that is what I am doing. Probability of x greater than 3 means 1 minus probability of x less than or equal to 3. This is probability greater than. This is, see, this is total probability P. Okay. Then out of this probability, this much is the probability we want. We cannot find this one. How can we find this one? 1 minus this part. Total probability is 1. Range from 0 to 1. So total probability is 1. I want to find the probability of this one. How we will do? 1 minus probability of this one. That is 1 minus when x is less than or equal to 3 here. 0, 1, 2, 3. So 1 minus f of 3. So x is greater than 3, 1 minus f of 3. So what is the formula for f of 3 here? So f of x is given by 1 minus e raised to minus lambda x. So 1 minus e raised to minus lambda. What is the value of lambda? 1 divided by 3. Minus 1 by 3 into x. What is the value of x here? X is 3. So 3 into this one. So it is 1 minus e raised to 3 by 3 means e raised to minus 1. E raised to minus 1 directly can be calculated from your scientific calculator. So the value is given 0.368. So the probability that the lamp will live more than its mean life is 0.368. That is only 36%. Other remaining it will fail. That bulb or that lamp will fail. So the probability that it lives more than 3000 years is 0.368. Same problem, if they are saying that find the probability that the lamp will be lasting between 2000 to 3000. If between 2000 to 3000 means between 2 to 3 I can take. X lies between 2 to 3. So when such kind we are having, what we are doing? F of x2 minus f of x1. So f of x2 is 3 minus f of x1 is f of 2. What is f of 3? F of 3 can be given by 1 minus e raised to minus lambda x. Here x is 3. Here x is, f of 2 means x is 2 here. Minus lambda means minus 1 by 3 into x is 2. So if I substitute the values, I am going to get this 0.145. So this is how we are going to use the exponential distribution. So next we are going to study about the normal distribution. Any variable, continuous variable is said to be normally distributed when its mean value is given by mu and its variance is given by sigma square. Okay, so like this is the denotation of normal distribution. What does it mean? X is normally distributed with mean value mu and sigma square as its variance. Mu is mean and sigma square is the variance. So here f of x is given by, what is this f of x again? Capital F of x. What is capital F of x? CDF, cumulative distribution function. It is given by phi of x minus mu divided by sigma. This formula itself we are going to use here. So let us calculate here. Suppose they are saying x is normally distributed with the value of mu and sigma square. Find f of 56. So mu is given as 50 here. Sigma square is 9. What is sigma? 3. Okay, 3 is 9. What is square root of 3 here? It is square root of 9. It is 3 here. F of 56. Phi of f of x means f of 56. X value is 56. X is 56 minus mu. What I am getting here? 50. Sigma value is 3. 56 minus 50 divided by 3, that is phi of 2. This phi of 2 is it is a constant which is present in the textbook in the table A.3. So at the last you are having there A.3. In the A.3 we are having, yes, in the table A.3. What we are having here? Phi of 2. Okay, what is phi of 2? So this is phi of 2 here, 0.977. See, this is phi 0.97725. So that value we are having here, that is 0.9772. This when such questions are asked, you can take the xerox of the tables which I have showed you. This one you can take the xerox and get it signed and use in your examination. So this value we have found out. Another kind of example, let us see here for the same one. So what they are saying here is x is normally distributed with mu value as 12 and sigma square as 4. Sigma square is 4 means what is sigma? It is 2. Find f of 10. X is 10 here. X minus mu divided by sigma. X minus mu divided by sigma. X is 10, mu is 12, sigma is 2 here. So this is 10 minus 2 is minus 2 divided by 2. So minus 1. So in this one we are not having a minus 1 here. Here you can see this in the table A.3. We are having all positive values. We are not having the minus. How will you find out then? We can find out. See, first if it is minus 1, first find phi of its positive, means phi of 1. Its positive value is phi of 1. So what is phi of 1 here? It is 0.841. That is 0.8413. Phi of 1. 1 minus this will give you minus. Phi of minus 1. Suppose you want phi of minus 2 here. First find phi of 2. So what is phi of 2 here? Phi of 2 is this one. What is its minus means do 1 minus whatever positives phi value you have got, that one. So like this you are going to find out the value of phi. So this is the normal distribution. There are other continuous distributions like Weibull distribution, log normal distribution, gamma distribution, beta distribution. These distributions only means you don't have such important problems on those. And in the exam what they will ask, like explain 3 discrete and 3 continuous distribution. What are you going to write there? First you have to write the discrete distribution. Inside that 1, 2 and 3, and for continuous distribution here also 1, 2 and 3. What you are going to write here? Suppose it is the binomial distribution. You have to write the binomial distributions formula. If f of x is there and capital F of x is there, you have to write what is this x, you have to tell. So similarly for continuous distribution also. So like this you have to explain 3, 3. So this is what you are going to have in the continuous and discrete distributions.